It was a long road. I just celebrated my 40th year at the bar, so it was a fun thing. So 40 years is in a couple minutes is pretty hard to summarize, but basically, after I graduated, I went to a law firm and practiced in litigation. I always wanted to be a barrister. I had a practice where we did civil litigation of all types for many years, in commercial, corporate, insurance, personal injury, lots of language rights cases, which is kind of different. Over the years of my practice, one of the things that was developing in the early 90s was mediation. So we started to get involved in trying to settle disputes, not on the courthouse steps, but earlier. And so I got quite involved in trying to become, or to try to mediate my disputes. I took mediation training at that time in the early 90s, and we also got quite involved with the courts and got the judges to try to help us mediate cases, which was an interesting aspect of doing things privately and through the court system. Eventually, after about 23 years at the bar, I was appointed as a federal judge. While I was a judge, it was a general jurisdiction type of judge, so I did everything from criminal to corporate and commercial litigation to everything, wills and estates, family law, you name it, we did it all. I retired from the bench a couple of years ago, and I've been a mediator since then, and arbitrator. I do both, mediation and arbitration. So right now my mediation practice is in this, what I would call the civil litigation area, so corporate, commercial cases, lots of medical and legal and professional negligence types of cases, personal injury, insurance disputes, estate cases. I'm trying to think of all the cases I've had. A wide variety of civil litigation cases, which sort of mirror what I did in practice. And of course in the courts when I did civil litigation type cases. Because I'm a former judge, I was a judge for 15 years and litigator before then, a lot of times what people really want is more of an evaluative, what you would call an evaluative type of mediation, as opposed to facilitative. So I try to facilitate disputes for sure. I try to get the parties talking, and that's the most important thing. But they also are looking to me for risk evaluation. Considering I know how a judge thinks, in fact, I trained judges near the end of my time on the bench. I was in charge of training judges, the new judges that came along. So I can give parties insight about what will happen to them if they pursue their dispute to the courts. So that is sort of my style in terms of trying to mediate. Well, I live in the Banff National Park. Right now I do quite a bit of my work virtually, and then some in person when I fly, or I drive into Calgary, which is a large center. So when I'm not working, I'm cycling, hiking in the mountains. This is the Rocky Mountains, or cooking, painting. I do a lot of artwork, and I used to run my dogs a lot.